And sincere apologies for having a bit of a technical issue there. I can't quite get the screens to share, so I'm just going to pause the screen for just one moment so we can get this to work for us. Might just need to restart the slides there for you, or go straight into a demonstration, but we'll see if we can get this one to work for you. And we'll just swap those around. Okay, it looks like it's working. Apologies for that. Let's see if we can still get this all squeezed into the time we've got today there for you. So you will notice that your microphone is on mute. That does just mean that you can't speak to me directly today. If you've got any questions, we do ask you to use that questions panel, and that will open up the panel where you can type your questions across to me, and we'll see if we can get those answered for you. Now, these quick learns, we don't have a handout for today. Everything is available on our Help Centre, and there's two really handy articles that you can find on our Help Centre that I'll show you just a little bit later on that goes into more detail on the two features that we're going to cover today for you. So, like I said, no handout for today's session. And I am alone this afternoon, so if you do have any questions, please do use the questions panel, but please also just bear with me. I will try and get to as many of your questions as possible. Quite a quiet session today though, so no doubt we'll be able to get round to those for you. Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at. First of all, just a quick introduction to what that shortfall feature is, and then we're going to go through the shortfall feature in both the product module, and then if you're using Sage 50 Professional, how to use it within the sales order shortfall option, so in the sales order module. And then we're just going to talk about some upcoming webinars. We've got some really exciting webinars to talk to you about coming up in November, so we'll be talking about those a little bit later. Okay, so first of all, our introduction and what the shortfall feature is. So it's a feature that allows you to see what items you need to order in, essentially. When you're looking at your product list, it looks at your free stock or on order and then looks at it in terms of what the reorder level is. Okay, so it just sees how much you need to be at your minimum reorder level. If you're using Sage 50 Professional, then you can use it on your sales orders to see how much stock do you need to fulfill those orders that you've entered into your software. Now, it will only work for items that you've set as stock items. So if you've got products that are set up as service or non-stock, then the shortfall feature won't work for those. They have to be set up as a stock item so that it can trace the activity on the item and the stock in and out for you. So just bear that one in mind. So we're going to go straight into demo as we normally do with the quick learns. So I'm just going to get my data set across here. Hopefully this will work for us. Yep, that looks like it's working for us. Now we are going to use the demonstration data today. So if you do want to have a go yourself, or you want to have a go while we're on the session today, please feel free to do so. The data that you'll have access to is very similar to what I'll have on the screen at the moment. If you want to use your demonstration data, you can log in. The login is manager. You leave the password blank, and that will take you into our stationery and computer mart. Like I say, this just allows you to have a play around without actually impacting your live data. So it's a good opportunity to have a practice with some of the features there. So the first shortfall feature I'm going to show you is within products and services. Okay, so this is more applicable to more of you because this is available in Sage 50 accounts and above. So if you're using Essentials, you won't have this feature, but if you're using Sage 50 accounts and you're not using sales orders, you still will have this shortfall feature here. And what this shortfall option here does will show you what you need to order in to bring everything up to the minimum reorder level. So as you can see, I've got shortfall here at the top, and I've got nothing highlighted at the moment, so I don't have any records highlighted. If I did want to run this for one item in particular, then I can do, but for the purposes of today, I'm going to show it across all records. So making sure nothing's highlighted, I'm going to click on shortfall and bring this across. And what this does here is it shows me my products with the description, the supplier that I normally purchase that item from, what I've got free or on order. So if I've either got it in stock and it's available to use, or it's on order with a purchase order, and what my reorder level is, and then the shortfall. So I'm going to focus in on this top one here so I can explain these figures for you. So I'm just going to highlight this one. So here you can see I've got nothing free or on order. So I've got nothing in stock and I've got nothing on order on a purchase order. The reorder level is 5, which means my shortfall is 5. However, it's telling me my quantity to order is 10. So I'm going to look at the record now so I can show you where it's picking these values up for you. If I come out of here and find that particular one, it's the one in red. So my items in red are the ones that are below the reorder level. I'm just going to double click on this record so you can see why it's picking up that number 10. Okay, so we knew that there was non-free. So there is actually one in stock, but it's actually allocated. So free stock is 0. My reorder level is 5. However, my reorder quantity is 10. So essentially I've said, once this falls below 5, I need to reorder, but I'm going to reorder it with a minimum of 10 each time. And that's where the shortfall has picked up this information from. So this is where you can start to get the most from different areas of the software. So I'm going to just pop back into the shortfall feature there. I'm just going to again unhighlight this one and clear. And go back to shortfall. What I can then do is I can start to create orders from this window. Now this is very similar to that new feature that's come in 29.2, but there are some differences. So from here, if I wanted to highlight multiple items, I can do, and I can create an order, and that launches a purchase order for me. Now, because all of those items there have the same supplier reference, it's automatically populated those. However, if I was to pick several items, I'll just do that again then, bring that back across. If I was to pick several items who have different suppliers, as you can see here, I'm going to pick this one and this one. So we've got 3 different suppliers and create order. What it then does is just give me a blank reference. So then you need to pick which supplier. Now with the new feature in 29.2, what that would do is recognize there's 3 different suppliers here. I'm going to create 3 purchase orders. But in this case, it's created one order for all 3 items. So I either need to go through individually and do these, or order it from one supplier. So that's where there's a benefit to having 29.2 if you're wanting to use that create purchase orders from sales orders option. But from here, I can create the purchase order and go through that purchase order process if I'm using that module. If not, it is just a good list of what I need to be looking at in terms of ordering in to get my stock levels back up above their reorder level. So that's the shortfall within the products and services module. So that will look at all of the products in your list to see which ones are below the reorder level. So we also have this shortfall feature within our sales order module. And this is purely looking at your sales orders and what we need in order to fulfill those sales orders. So I've gone into sales orders. You can see all of my sales orders here. Quite a few of them are complete, but we've got a few that are still outstanding at the moment. And if we click on shortfall here, we get a slightly different story here. We don't get the big long list of what we need to bring everything to reorder. Literally, what do we need to make sure that we can fulfill this order? So for all of my orders that I've got there at the moment, I only actually need to order 2 products for us to make the sales order work. And again, what we have here is the option to create the order for 1 or multiple items. If we select multiple items with different suppliers, again, it does the same thing. It gives us a blank account reference. So we would then have to go through the process of working out who we're going to order this from. If I just selected it for one, bring this back, one supplier, so you can see the supplier column here. Create the order. At this point, it pops the supplier reference in. So again, the more you pop into the software, the more you're going to get out of your software. And that is essentially the shortfall feature. So rather than you having to manually go through each of your orders, cross-checking what you've got in stock, seeing if you've got enough for the orders, the shortfall option will allow you to see at a glance what you're going to need to order in order to fulfill orders or to meet your reorder levels on your product records. So quite an easy feature, quite a small feature, but quite beneficial if you're not on 29.2 to allow you to see what stock is going to be required and to link into the purchase order module if you're using that module. Like I say, if you're using 29.2, I would definitely recommend using the new feature, and I will just show you briefly where that is. Within sales orders, you have the option to generate purchase order. So if you're on 29.2, I would definitely be using this option over the shortfall, but not everybody is on the most recent version there. Okay, so quite a simple feature. What I will say is if you've got any questions, get them across. We'll see if we can get those answered for you. Just in a moment, going to have a look at some of the upcoming webinars for you so that you can see what we've got in the upcoming weeks. But we do briefly just want to show you some of the reports that also come for shortfall as well. So I'm just in the sales order module there, just resharing the screen. And if you pop into reports in the top right corner, you can see that there are sales order shortfall reports as well. So this will allow you to run reports. So it's not just that shortfall window, you can actually generate reports based on the shortfall feature as well. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please do get them across. And I am just going to show you our upcoming webinars for International Accounting Day. So this is coming on the 10th of November. It is a day, but we are actually going to run a full week of celebrations for International Accounting Day. And what we're also doing is introducing the opportunity for our first ever badge. So I'm just going to bring the screen up here, just bring this across. And share the screen for you. Okay. So as I mentioned, International Accounting Day is coming on the 10th of November, and we do like to do something to mark the occasion. So we're going to be doing a full week of webinars. Now, we're going to be doing 7 webinars that week, and we're going to give you the opportunity to earn our first ever digital badge for Sage 50 webinars. Now, we trialed these for payroll back in September, and they were really, really popular. These badges allow you to add a digital badge onto your signature for your email and show people that you are sort of taking charge of your own development there. So if you were to attend 4 of the 7 sessions that week, you will then be able to earn the badge. So I'm going to pop this link into the chat for you so that you can all access this and get registered for the sessions. And like you can see here, we've got sessions that are running across automating some of the processes in your software, trying to make your life easier and make processing a little bit quicker for you. So it is an accounts automation badge that you will be able to achieve. And back by popular demand, last year we did do a Sage 50 accounts quiz. So we're going to be bringing that back on the Friday to celebrate the day itself. So I'll pop this link into the chat there for you. So if you do want to get yourself registered, you're more than welcome to register for that now. And you should be seeing that chat appear any second now. There we go. Okay, so it's a very, very quiet session this morning on the, this afternoon on the shortfall feature. So I haven't got any questions just yet, so I will just pop on mute in just a moment. One thing I am just going to show you though is just one of the settings in the software that may be of use to you. So I'm just going to pop in back into the software, and what you have the option to do is when you're creating a purchase order from the shortfall feature, you can opt to pop the orders onto on order, which is one of the statuses, automatically. So to do that, I'm just going to show you where you can switch this on or off. You can pop into settings and into invoice and order defaults, and within this window, just under the general tab, there is the option to place order shortfalls on order automatically. So if when you're creating that purchase order, you want it to automatically be classed as on order, you need that box ticked. If you want to take more control of that, then you can untick the box. Now, next, I'm just going to bring across one of the articles there. This is available on our help centre. Okay, so if you go onto sage.co.uk/help, type in the word shortfall into the search box, you will get the options for both the sales order shortfall and the product shortfall feature. So this one here is just the product shortfall. And as you can see here, it gives an explanation. It shows you how it's calculating the shortfall, and further down, it gives a bit more information on each of those columns and where it's pulling that information from for you. Just pop back onto the Help Centre. Just show you where you can find other upcoming webinars. So again, if you go to sage.co.uk/help, or within your software, if you select the help option, that will take you to our help centre. You can type in things like shortfall, or if you're looking for our webinars, you can search the word webinars, and what that will do is bring up our future live sessions, but also a link to our recordings as well. If you're wanting to catch up on something that you've maybe missed, or look at our previous webinars, you can use the webinar recordings option there as well. So tomorrow we are back tomorrow morning. Michael is going to be looking at journal corrections. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do get registered for that at 11 o'clock. And he's back on Thursday again at the same time, looking at our departments feature as well. Okay, so I think that's it for now. I am going to put myself on mute, and I will hang on till past. Like I said, we do like to make sure that we slot into that half-hour session for you. If there's no further questions and you do wish to leave, then please do so. Thank you very much for joining us. We will hopefully see you on another session really soon. In the meantime, though, I'll pop on mute and I will pop back before we end the session today. Okay, so we'll look to end the session there. So thank you very much for joining us today. We hope to see you on another session real soon. Take care and stay safe.